What's up, people? Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It's been a wonderful weekend in the Premier League. Lots of great action to get to. Of course, the Arsenal have gone to Stamford Bridge and gotten a 2-2 draw, given a 2-2 draw, I might say. Manchester City, tale of two halves, looked fantastic in the first, didn't come out of the locker room for the second. Liverpool have won the Merseyside derby. Maybe not as exciting as you might think. And Newcastle and Aston Villa are scaring the rest of the league. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with the biggest one of the weekend. Of course, what are you telling me, Patrick? You gave it away. You gave it away.
It really did. And some of the players came out and said the same thing. It feels like a loss. And I think the thing is when you have that mentality, you want to see that mentality, especially from a team that has struggled early on in the season, because you don't want to be satisfied with a 2-2. Then you start to become Tottenham. I mean, let's be real.
Table Tottenham?
For now.
You watch your mouth.
I know, right? No, I just I enjoyed it. I know you and I kind of squabbled a little bit and we disagree on some things, but I thought that we played quite well. I thought that we controlled the midfield until about the 75th minute. Pochettino has come out since the match and said that both Caicedo and Enzo probably shouldn't have played. And if it was, he said that they were not match fit at all.
Really?
But that the fan base and the backroom staff would probably kill him if he had sat them for a match like that.
Wow.
And I think you saw that, especially late. Y'all really started to control the midfield late in the game. And I felt, and that's where it kind of felt a little bit off. So, and
I can tell you why.
Huh?
I said I can tell you why.
Why?
But go on.
Well, I was going to say credit to Arsenal. I thought the Arteta made some really good changes. I'm still kind of unsure about why you bring on Havertz, but Rice was really, really good.
Hey, Havertz did more in those 10 minutes than Odegaard did the whole game.
Yeah, where did Odegaard go? Like, he was just like nowhere to be found.
I mean, you could say, hey, it was raining really hard, and that's why we were technically awful. But that's a horrible excuse. You could also say that he's starting to build this pattern where if you have a smart tactical press where you support the guy that's actually pressing Odegaard by also pressing the players closest to him, he goes missing. Yeah. He can't really figure out how to beat presses when the first and second pass are blocked. And so he kind of gets a little frustrated and seems to drift, seems to just go out of the game. That was one of the worst performances I've seen him have in an Arsenal game.
Because of the way Conor Gallagher presses?
100%. Yeah. And you have to give credit to the Chelsea press for that. 100%.
I mean, he's gotten my wrath multiple times, even this year at times, but I think he fits perfectly in what Pochettino wants to do.
It was the way they pressed together. It was the way that Enzo and if you noticed it, your wingers were staying really wide. They weren't pressing Gabriel and Saliba, right? And so your center midfielders were super high, were really high, and all three of them were man marking our three. And so, one, there wasn't any space for Zinchenko, who was awful, who did not offer anything, rather defensively nor offensively, And so, what's up, X? Here he is. Maybe. He's a dark screen. But, the press was just something we couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
There he is. What's up, buddy? Yeah, we're just talking about how Zinchenko was not great or good at all. But I think the way y'all clogged the midfield, the guy we looked to find the key, to unlock it, to figure it out, as you say, just couldn't.
Yeah. Well, I think also, and we can go rounds on Cuckoo if you want, but I don't really feel like it.
Oh, I want to talk about Cucurella. I definitely want to talk about
Cucurella. We'll go rounds on it, but I do think, before we get into that, I do think that we can press like that because we trust both of our outside backs to be able to play one-on-one. Because I know that Gusto shut off on Trossard's goal, but he pretty much kept Martinelli in check. There was a couple times that Martinelli got the best of him, but he pretty much kept him in check.
He legitimately marked him out of the game. He marked him so well, they subbed him off.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And that's why, people talk about Reece, and I'm glad he got to go out there and play. But I think what Reece provides is more of a forward winger type. Pretty much what Pochettino tried to do with Chilwell. But Reece could actually do it, and Gusto is more of a good defensively, I trust Gusto 9 times out of 10 over Reece. He's not the fastest guy, but he's smart.
He's got wheels. There were a couple of times that he went stride for stride with Martinelli, and that's not easy to do.
But the funny thing is he was one of those deadline days. Like, we got who?
Who is this?
Get him for a year or grid him for another, until the summer. Yeah. But he was kind of one of those deadline day steals. I want to say he was 30. Which in this market, 30 is a steal. And like I was saying, X, I'm glad that the players came out and said that they felt like it's a loss, because you don't want to be complacent to say, oh, we drew them, that's awesome. No, you want to be mad.
No, because we dropped the game.
We did.
After the Rice goal, because we didn't expect it.
Well, that's where you dropped it. That's where you dropped it.
Completely.
Right.
Completely.
And we gave him a goal to...
we didn't have a shot on goal. That was the first shot on goal.
I know. Yeah.
You should have had 4.
And it did. We should have had 4.
That's what he's saying.
You should have had 4.
Yeah, Jackson should have hit his. Sterling should have hit
Palmer should have finished that.
5.
I know Raya made a play, but Palmer he's got to finish
away.
Put it away. Raya made a play. He gave a play.
Well, he gave a play and he made up for it.
Raya looked terrible.
Palmer should finish that.
He looks shaky.
Yeah.
But to all this, like I was saying last week, man, this was the litmus test, and I'm not ashamed with how we played.
You shouldn't be. That was one of your. That's one of the. I heard someone say. I heard it was Rory Jennings. I don't know if you guys like Rory Jennings. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He's a Chelsea fan. He said that was the best performance Chelsea's had in 18 months.
I would agree. I'd agree completely.
Hold
on. I thought I'll go back. The performance against Dortmund at the Bridge
was fantastic. Yeah. But see, that's what didn't we say it 3 or 4 pods ago? It's in there.
Oh yeah.
This is in there, and in a big game,
frustrating,
versus a huge rival at home, coming off the back of an awful record versus us, you guys put that out. And yes, we were terrible. I'm not gonna lie, we were bad, but 80-20, that's because y'all were good.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people say, "Oh, you make an excuse." Arsenal were one of the worst performances of the season at Chelsea's best performance of the season. But you guys had a ton to do with why that's our worst performance.
Right, we started so hot and so high in the press and got those second, so early. It got the Bridge truly in the game. Like that, you could hear it over. You could hear every chant they were. It was the Bridge was in the game all up until the wind got knocked out of them at the 75th. Yeah,
there are other subtle things that change the game as well. Besides, that was kind of the straw that or the crack in the dam that kind of broke, the game down. But we need to talk about Saka being locked up by Cucurella. Yes, Cuckoo definitely had a good game. Definitely did well because he got away with a whole bunch. I counted them. I counted the number of times he's kicked the absolute crap out of Saka. It took him 6 times to get a yellow card. And the next 2 altercations he had with Saka were more Caicedo challenges because they were like Cuckoo and Caicedo on Saka at the same time. As soon as Cucurella gets that yellow card, though, he starts giving Saka space. And look what happens. As soon as Caicedo gets the yellow card in the 81st, 83rd minute.
Pretty soft yellow, if I remember right.
But all of a sudden, there's a little bit more space in that center midfield for Declan Rice, who, without Declan Rice, we would not even.
I mean, you want to
not
go
even
rounds.
close.
You want to go
not
rounds.
Even close.
Rice should have been a yellow in the 28th.
Okay. That is first of all,
same challenge Palmer did. Same challenge.
Which Palmer challenge are you talking about? Because if you're talking about the one
he got the yellow for.
The one, okay, so you're going to ignore Palmer's challenge on Jesus that didn't get anything at all. The stamp on the back of his leg. He did get the yellow for that?
Yeah, that's the one he
got
the yellow for.
Okay, so Rice does this and brushes a guy. He didn't stamp on anybody's leg. He didn't stamp on anybody's leg. Okay, fine. But how does none of your 7 guys that immediately surround the ref get a yellow for getting in the ref's face immediately?
Connor should have caught a yellow for that because he asked for the yellow.
Okay, and since we're looking at the referee, how about Thiago Silva's 2-footed challenge that didn't even get looked at, that leaves Martinelli in a heap? He doesn't even get a yellow. They don't even look at the VAR.
Well, he hit the
ball. And then later on, no, he didn't. He didn't hit the ball. The ball went the other direction.
Didn't he have 2 fouls like that? Because one of them he did get.
He did get a yellow. He gets a yellow later on. Thiago Silva does so. Yeah, maybe a little lucky to not be sent off. Just like Cucurella, a little bit lucky to not be sent off. You know what the worst one was, too? The one where he should have got his first yellow was right after the handball. So the handball happens, and we clear it out. If you remember, it was like 48, 50 seconds of play afterwards.
Long time.
It was almost 2 minutes.
Bad. In that 2 minutes before the review happened, Cuckoo comes and cleans Saka out from behind. Cleans him out from behind. Absolute madness. Doesn't even nothing. It's not even it wasn't even a foul. I was shocked. It was crazy, insane. And then they checked the penalty, which yes, Stonewall, letter of the law.
Right. Extending.
That's a penalty.
Right. What is it? Making your body bigger.
Well, what I heard that the VAR audio was that the ball was going on goal,
on target,
and so he's blocked the goal. Because his hand is in an unnatural position.
I would rather Mudryk hit that goal than.
Oh yeah, that would have been sick. But riddle me this: have you ever gone up for a header or even jumped up in the air without doing this with your arms?
That's the hardest part.
Never.
So what part of this is not natural, especially when Saliba's already leaning in with his eyes closed, trying to hit the header, and his hands.
You have to make it. You almost have to make it like unnatural. Like if you look at people who really
exactly, you can't dead fish it like the FIFA celebration. You don't go for headers like a dolphin.
Well, when you're in the box and you're like jumping in front of the ball, leaning forward, like you almost have to avoid that call. Like they've been doing that for some defenders have been doing that for years to avoid that call.
Not to jump for headers though. That's when they go for blocks. They'll put their arms behind their back, going for blocks and whatnot. Not when you're going up for a header.
You can't even get elevation without using it.
But letter of the law, it's a penalty. And credit Palmer. Why is Enzo the one? Where was Connor in that discussion where Enzo is telling Sterling, no, let Palmer take it? Did you see the replay of all that? Where was the guy with the armband?
Enzo. I mean, I thought that was actually a good moment of leadership.
I think
because the captain. Where's the captain?
That's the PK takers, though. If you look at the rest of the season, Enzo's taken one, Sterling's taken one. Those are our PK takers. If so, there's a PK, those 3 are up for it. So it's like, I think the discussion was supposed to be which one of us three are taking this, and they're like, he's like, dude, give it to Palmer. Ice in the veins.
Well, he was having a good game, and slots at home. There you go.
That's the only. I hope it's not a disgruntled discussion or will be like who's going to step up and take these, and it's the Sterling like ego thing. I hope that it's just those three have taken PKs for us all season up to this point before Palmer.
Well, it's like Sterling said, he wanted to be the guy.
Well, yeah, Sterling wants to be.
He wants to step up and be the guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why he got the start. Like he's had good form. I felt like he got lost at times. I didn't feel like he had a bad game. It's just that final ball, man.
I thought he was decent.
I know he puts in the final ball for the header for Mudryk to get the PK, which is beautiful. But like Sterling does. He just plays a great game and then has nothing to show for it most times. And I feel like
I don't know, man. Sterling
that assist, it's still
Sterling has it in him to show up in big games. You know, I know that he's had a rough time at Chelsea, but everyone's had a rough time in the past 18, 24 months at Chelsea, right? Yeah. I was watching, I was doing some Champions League research for another video I'm making, and he's got some big Champions League goals, some really important. Lewis, I'm sure you remember, what was it, 2019? The Tottenham game, that 5-3 versus Tottenham.
Yeah, he also has some pretty big misses too.
That's fair, but still, like I say with Chelsea, it's in there. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I understand that he's got to bring it out consistently, but
tactically, do you think that Chelsea switching between the center forward position with three guys, do you think that caused some issues for your defense to trying to figure out who's coming where and what, you know, it's not just your typical, okay, this guy's on the wing, this, you know, oh, Palmer's out here and Mudryk's in the middle here, you know, this time, or like, I think
it gave Gabriel and Saliba a rough time.
Yeah, I thought that, and I had to, I mean, you know, take the press out of it, which was great by Pochettino. I thought that was actually as big of a issue for y'all as the press, because they didn't know who to mark. And, you know, I think that's one reason why Zinchenko also looked so bad, because he got lost.
He got caught in no man's land a bunch.
Yeah. Yep. He got lost. And
so did Jorginho, by the way. So did Jorginho, by the way.
At one point when Zinchenko got fouled, he was on the right hand.
Yeah, he'll do that.
I was like, why is their left back getting fouled on the right hand throw? Like, it's on the line for a throw in.
Yeah, he does that.
He is all the way across the field.
He's a marauder. But speaking of getting lost in the midfield, man, here I was talking all kind of smack. Jorginho's got more caps at Stamford Bridge than any of those guys. Yeah. Dude, he was just like his, you know, sometimes every now and again he'll come out and have a good performance like against City. But a lot of times he's just a turnstile. Just says a turn around and run back. You know, he's turn around and run back. He's gotten blown past again. Enzo's blown past him again. I was upset.
Trust me, if it wasn't for that Champions League run, the love for Jorginho by the fan base would be very
it wouldn't be. Yeah, it would not be,
because there were so many times where we got overran in the midfield because he couldn't track back. He couldn't stay up. You know, he was good against teams that played a low block. He was able to find passes. I mean, some of his.
He was good when he was good when he didn't have to work, when he had Conte behind him.
Yeah, that's
like Kova tried to fill that role for us for a little while, and that's why Kova looked bad, because Kova became a brute and wasn't able to play tactical. And Georgie just gets lost. Like, that's his crux.
Partey was on the bench. Didn't come into the game. So if my man's not going to play, why is he on the bench?
He didn't even play that much against the U.S. either.
And not to mention, we didn't have anything creatively. And to bring in a creative player, Fabio Vieira wasn't even in the squad. And yet Partey rides the bench and doesn't even see the field.
And this is where I do have you saw I asked you before. You got to ask some questions to Arteta. I mean, I'm not understanding it. I'm not getting it at all, especially the way they were just kind of running. If you had Rice and Partey together, maybe Odegaard finds some movement, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I agree. I mean, but and when he pulled Jorginho and put Smith Rowe in the 8 and Rice in the 6, we immediately looked better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. When I saw Emmy was coming on, I was like, "Oh crap, this is gonna not be good."
He was decent. He was all right.
But I mean, what I'm saying though, he was coming on for Jorginho, and I know he's
Mobile.
he's more active.
You knew Rice would be dropping. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mobile.
So I knew he was going to be a little bit more active. He was going to, so that would allow Rice to play more as a deep line playmaker, because there was at one point where Rice was ahead of Jesus, and it's like,
Yeah, well, in our press, in the way we press, one of the 2 8s are always really high forward, and they're either pressing the last guy or Jesus is pressing the last guy.
But Connor does for us. Yeah, he
Yeah,
runs
it's part of the press.
way forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sucks because Connor will get caught with the ball in the box and he doesn't know what to do with it because he's not supposed to have the ball up there.
Yeah, he's got those Sterling feet. Yeah, but another incident that I want to look at that I'm absolutely mystified by. Jesus clattered in the box. The header goes off of Tamayasu for a corner kick. But Sanchez has absolutely cleaned Jesus out. Okay, he's taken out another 3 Chelsea players at the same time. Sure, so it's a huge tumble of bodies. But Jesus is under a dog pile.
Yes.
well, yeah.
Now go ahead and tell me how that's different from the Onana versus Wolves. I'll wait.
Well, I mean, I think because he went through Chelsea players.
Yes, I think it's the Chelsea.
He went through Jesus first. Jesus was the first man he's hip checked in the face, and then he's tumbled over everyone else.
I mean, it's like isn't that the right to passage though? Isn't that the claim that the ref's gonna make? Even if
he didn't hit the ball. He didn't get anywhere near the ball at any point. Tamayasu has headed the ball straight out of bounds.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like right to passage of the ball. Even if he doesn't get there, like he still has a right to go.
Chelsea players
he doesn't have a right to clobber the attacker. He doesn't have a right to go through the attacker.
As a forward, I agree 100%. It does. A goalie does that.
Wasn't even looked at.
If a goalie does that to me, I'm gonna fight him. Like,
wasn't even looked
I
at.
thought they did a check on that.
Nope. Nothing.
They didn't say that on the broadcast?
No, man, they didn't check it.
No. You know, and so where's the apology for that one, Howard Webb? I'll be waiting by the phone.
Then you gotta wait, sir.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, having said all of that, I do have huge beef with the referee for all of these horrifying decisions. Having said all of that, we don't deserve it. That performance does not deserve even the point that you guys so graciously gave us.
I don't understand how upset I was when they hit that equalizer, man.
Credit the subs, man. Credit. You know, we pulled something out of the hat. You know, Trossard comes in off the back. Gusto switches off for literally 4 seconds of the entire 97 minutes.
97 minutes.
The whole game, he switches off 1 moment, and Trossard's able to get in there.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the one time, because Cuckoo's now on a yellow, that he lets Saka have 4 yards of space.
Well, he
rips in a beautiful cross.
He pulled off because there was an outside runner, and Madueke
was there, yeah.
Because I went back and looked because I was like, damn, Saka really did get a good one. And there were a couple times where
he ran past him 3 times.
Yeah, I was about to say there were a couple times that he did run past him. He had one there on the byline that he kind of went down and he pushed it into the box, but we cleared it out. But I went back and looked at that because I'm like, why did Cuckoo come off of him? Because I mean, the way he played in the whole game.
Because Ben White was on the outside.
It was because there was a runner on the outside and Madueke didn't come up on him.
Yeah. So
he had 4 yards of space to hit it. And I mean, it's sort of like the cross that Ronaldo hit against the US in Brazil.
Yep. Oh God, yeah.
He's gonna hit that. Same thing for Saka. He's gonna hit that. You give him the space, he's going to hit that. So it shouldn't be a shock. I hate the gusto. I mean, that will probably be something that will probably eat at him for a little bit because he knows he's got to cover that runner. And he covered it the whole game except for that 4 seconds.
And then not 4 seconds later, do you have any idea how insufferable I would be if Eddie Nketiah had dunked it right at the end?
Oh yeah.
That chance that we had literally right after we scored, and Eddie's somehow gotten there past Thiago Silva. I mean, he's come out of the crypt for this game, and Eddie's gotten there, and it's just went past the far post. If that had got in, I would be. You wouldn't be able to handle the shade I'll be throwing, man.
Jackson can pull what we've seen from him and finish.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. As far I can say that, but what about Raya just giving it to Palmer?
I can't believe Palmer did not finish that.
That's what I'm shocked about too.
I'm calling for Ramsdale, man. I want to see Ramsdale tomorrow.
Ramsdale should have been.
Better be.
I want to see Ramsdale tomorrow.
Raya looked out of his element. I mean, and I don't mean that in the sense of he's not good enough to play for Arsenal, but it felt like that moment was just something that he's never been in. And
Same with City. He looked shaky versus both.
Yeah, and I think one, and I don't know what his height is, but
he's huge.
But he played small. And that's why. And I will say that Mudryk came out and he said it was a shot. What did he say? It was a shot cross.
It's something like a shot or a cross.
He was waffling. Good and damn well.
Oh, it's a cross. It's a cross.
I said it when he did it.
I've been the wing. I've been the wing that's hit that. It's a cross. You just hit it forward enough on the foot to where it went this way instead of like the curve's wrong. And it just bangs on goal, and you're like, "Oh no, I meant to do that." It's a cross.
Yeah,
it's a cross.
As much as I was disgusted, and I think it's a bit rich for him to celebrate with such gusto, I'm doing the exact same thing, dude. If I win that, I'm gonna
to the bridge.
I'm the best there's ever been.
It's his first Premier. I mean, that was his first Premier League goal.
Was it
at the bridge?
At the bridge, yes. It was
at the bridge. Okay, yeah.
First Premier League goal at the bridge, and it's such a big moment because if we pull Chelsea, if we become us and hold this true, that's the nail in the coffin at the bridge. Like that's the moment he's won against the team that he turned down and has given him so much flack for it.
I've arrived. I'm here.
I'm here. Like, dude, I'm living that moment too, man. Yeah, I'm gonna.
And then you gave it away.
It could have bounced off.
Threw it all away.
Hang on, it could have bounced off Ake's face on a ricochet, and I'm still doing it. I don't care.
Perfect example. This is one thing that I will gripe about with Pochettino, and I don't know if it's a fitness thing or what, but he pulls him in every match about the 65th minute.
Oh, that is another thing I wanted to ask you about. You took off your wing. He took off the wingers.
Yeah,
Palmer and Sterling.
I didn't understand.
Well, I think he wanted to pull the bus, but we haven't done it, and we don't have the.
And James come on and look that we lost. Like he was a little unfamiliar with the system.
I didn't know where he was playing.
I wouldn't have played James in this game. I wouldn't have played James in this game.
No,
because of what this game. Right, it's high octane. He's gonna get lost. Like hasn't played on the first team. Like this is the problem I have with James. He's so needed in the team to where it's over exhausted in moments like this, where it's like, nope, we got to see James. We got to have his presence needs to be there. He needs to be out there. And it's just pushing him in the moments to where you're asking him to fail or get hurt.
Actually, I think it actually might have been the fact that we were so bad. Pochettino was in total, we got this mode. Let's get some minutes for James. Just get a little bit of minutes in his legs. They're not doing anything, so we can get him a little run out. We're winning this game. We're comfortable. Yeah, and then Sanchez goes and does a madness. But I think he might have been in that mindset where it's like cruise control because they've been terrible.
turn off.
We're doing fine. You know, we're still pressing them well. We're keeping the ball better than they are. You know, so let's do
James.
these.
I agree with
These, you know, the things that you would do at the end of a game to kind
I
of
agree with that.
conserve legs and mix it
Yeah.
up and get your subs in. The normal stuff.
Yep. I agree with that.
But I mean, it happened against Fulham. He pulled him at halftime against Fulham.
Yeah.
He pulls him 65th minute against Arsenal. The guy's gone and been involved with 2 goals.
He's had one. He's had a game.
I mean,
Who are you talking about, Palmer?
Mudrick.
Oh, Mud Dog.
Right?
Yeah.
Mudrick, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mudrick, right.
And it's like,
Comes off a game without the
Mhm.
handball. I don't know if it's a goal or not, but it's an amazing shot. Like even
Mhm.
if he does riot in there, bro. Like had a great game, pressing back, coming back. He did stuff I wouldn't do. I'm not coming back like that.
and the thing
We
is,
know.
you notice as soon as he comes off, you notice 2 things. When he comes off, Palmer backs off on the press.
Yep.
He doesn't press as hard. And you can see our press. First off, I just want to complain for just a second. We scored a goal, and what happened? We backed off. Drives me insane.
I thought we were going to go total. We actually stayed a little more active than I thought. I agree, Patrick. I thought we stayed a little more active than I anticipated after that first goal. I thought we were going to literally pull this game.
I don't know. I was gonna be cheeky, but I wasn't gonna say it because I was gonna see if y'all brought it up. I was gonna be a little cheeky and say after the goal, like in the first 16 minutes, you were battering, you were peppering the goal. After that goal, after the penalty, until halftime,
we stopped taking shots. We stopped going. Yeah.
We just kept throwing it upfield for y'all to just reclaim possession.
Yep.
I actually thought we defended well. I thought that was like the only thing we actually did was we defended okay. You know.
Yeah, your third. Your final third. You really did.
But
we do that. But then we are good at that. You know, it's not like we're not gonna not defend well.
That's why the Saliba Tomiyasu combo injury last season derailed.
It's devastating. Yeah.
Right. Is because you lose. They're big, dude. You lose a lot of body there.
It's a weird moment to mention this, but I don't think you guys watched any Jury and Timber
I did in the summer.
During the preseason.
Oh.
I did in the summer. He's fantastic.
Yo, I was excited. I was pumped.
He's
so when he comes back, Zinchenko's out. When he comes back, Zenny's out.
Definitely.
Like I've heard some in the Arsenal fan base saying we need to have conversations about Zenny not starting anymore because I agree Tomiyasu should start on Tuesday.
Yeah,
but we already tried to replace him. He just got injured.
Yeah, Timber's fantastic.
We're gonna see. I'm excited.
The World Cup too.
Yeah,
Zinchenko can play in the midfield.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
That's true. He's gonna replace him at left back. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but no, if you value him being on there, when you have moments where you're like, well, you know, Odegaard is not this or Partey is not that, stick Zinchenko in there.
Yeah.
Well, against low blocks where we're not going to get hit on the counter too much, sure.
To say this too about the Zenny going, I just think you lose a bit of that proven Premier League DNA.
I don't think that matters with him though.
I mean,
I think it mattered more last year.
He's got the experience. He's just not a defender.
Well, I'm saying like Timber looks good. Is he going?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right, it's proven Premier League DNA. We've bought like everyone wants to come to the Prem. Not everybody can play in the Prem. Even defenders, they look good. The game's quicker. Their guys are a little bigger. Like,
well, that's way long down the road. You know, we won't even see him this season. So
yeah, I know.
He's done for the whole year.
Well, he's the same injury that
might be like April.
Our boy caught.
Knowing our James or Fofana, yeah. Knowing Arteta though, we won't see him at all this season. You know, so but you know, for the here and now, for me, Tomiyasu gotta come in.
Well, anytime they make a sub for defense, that's who comes on. Just put him in and start him in the game.
It's been fantastic.
I will say this.
Did he not improve our defense? Did he not improve Did we not improve when he came on the field? He was the first sub. He was the very first one.
To your point, though, I think you bring up a valid point about the overall, like, Chelsea's finally kind of found their consistency. Talking about injuries and guys coming in and out and being subs, like, we fielded this squad 3 times out now. This same method, the same system, the squad. This is Posh's guys moving forward till the injuries return. And like I said, that's nice to see in this, and I hope we don't hit these when the injuries come back. And I think this is like the overarching point that I was trying to get to. When the injuries come back, like, how much turmoil is this really going to cause the squad? How much, did the guys that have good chemistry with Zinchenko playing with Timber, like having to transition to playing with someone else, even though
We
they
don't
like
have anyone else to come back, dude.
Yeah.
That is the only player to come
that's-
back. We have everyone
your
else.
only- yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have everybody else. But looking at Chelsea, you make a good point as well. But I would ask you, like, who's getting displaced? If all 87 of your players were healthy at the same time,
Hardest. I think Mudryk loses his place. I really do, because I don't think you're benching
Mudryk
Sterling.
does.
Madueke?
Lost
To
gone.
who? To who? No, who does Mud Dog lose it to?
Sterling.
Loses it to Sterling because of Nkunku.
Will be on the other
and
side.
Nkunku will fill into the center and let
And
Palmer
Jackson?
go right.
Jackson plays either not. Sterling might move to the 9. And
What
then
about
they fight.
Madueke, Sterling, and
See, I don't think
Nkunku?
Madueke gets the starting role anymore.
I don't think he starts over Palmer.
I don't think he starts over
So
Palmer.
Palmer doesn't get displaced. Enzo's not displaced. Caicedo's not displaced.
And
Thiago Silva is killing it for you guys right now.
Thiago Silva does get displaced. So with Badiashile and Fofana
Badiashile,
both
Fofana.
being healthy, that's a battle for that.
Well, see, I think that you'll see DCC and Badiashile play together. Because of course we won't see Fofana until probably
long
March,
time.
April as well.
But your point about overall,
he's already doing some field work. Nothing too crazy, but
I mean,
dude, but your point about how Poch finally seems to have gotten some consistency and some continuity with the formation, and to a point to where the tactics and the formation don't change, just the personnel. And that's definitely a place you want to be. Another step in the right direction, of course.
Yep. And
Lewis,
it's been a nice change of pace over the last 18 months. Has been hard to not see any consistency,
to not see anything like that,
or to see the consistency be this is what we're going to do, even if it doesn't work, or we know this doesn't work, but it's the best we have. Like, there's not that sense with this. It's no, we're moving.
You finally found it
because it works, right?
Right.
Well, for me, I was the first question I had for Chelsea is, have they turned the corner? Because it feels like this
was the litmus test, man.
Is this a moment where they turn the corner, where Pochettino, the developer, has actually shown a blueprint to these guys and they're able to execute it? Because I mean, I think a lot of the guys played a lot better than they had played before. So I look at it and I say, well, this was a great time and a great test for them to play. Arsenal was flying high. I mean, it's funny because I think Pochettino likes a matchup like this, where Pochettino never goes out there to try to outsmart anybody. He plays his game. Pochettino ball is Pochettino ball. Your guys are healthy for the most part. And
who's here is, right.
You get a chance to kind of play some of your guys. So Reece, again, like Reece played, and you got a new guy in Palmer that, gives you some of that consistency. So it was him kind of feeling it out. That's where, I mean, I think you all have said it before, for Chelsea, is like you just need somebody in front of goal. Because, I remember watching the first half. I'm like, they should have 4. Like,
if Jackson and Palmer finish both those, this game is out of hand. This game is out of hand for Chelsea. If both those go in, if the first one in the 6th minute goes in, this one's out of hand.
But that's the reason I didn't ask the question of if like you turn the corner, because then when you I mean, even though the goals, you can call them whatever you want to, you got to draw. You drop 2 points.
I know.
And that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. That's the saddest part, man. That's the hardest part about this. Yeah.
And so how does that affect you mentally, right? And so that's why I didn't ask the question.
I mean, it's about 80-20 if you ask me. It would have meant so much. I think you would be dead on if we'd have won.
Yeah.
People would have bought in. The fan base would have bought in more. The players would be bought in more. Like I said, this game was momentous for us, way more than it was for Arsenal.
Because
This
then
was a
I
test
asked,
for us. Yeah.
I asked the question here is that, I mean, you got a striker, but like in January, I feel like you're going to go in the market to go get something. So what do you go get?
Osman.
It'll be 100 mil on Osman.
You can have him. It's gonna be way more than that. He kidnapped his
It's gonna be
sister or
150
something
mil.
like that.
He's
He's embroiled in some other. You know, his brother-in-law accused him of kidnapping his sister.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's some craziness.
honestly, though, I do have to say
Y'all
this
can
with
have him.
Patrick. There's more validity to the Tony aspect than I initially thought as well.
You think they go after Tony?
I don't discredit it as much as I did last month with
You
Patrick.
think he fixes that? You think he fit? Now,
Yeah.
as an art, this is, I guess, a good sort of Derby thing. I mean, who does he fit better with?
Us. Well, he plays more with us. He becomes more of a focal point with us.
Yo, if
Who's
Ivan Toney comes to Arsenal,
He
this
displaces.
is the big. This is how you're gonna. This is how we are going to lure him to Arsenal. If he comes to us, that's scary. That's scary for everybody else.
He's the man,
He might be the last little piece of the puzzle.
but he's not going to be the man at Arsenal. He'll be the guy at Chelsea. He'll be the 9. He'll be the focal point.
He'll be the 9 at Arsenal. He'll be the 9 at Arsenal.
Saka's getting 12 goals. Martinelli's getting 12 goals. Tony's only going to get 12 goals.
No
Whereas
way.
We're feeding him everything at Chelsea.
Tony would add that little bit more, a second option, a third option to what we do. Plus, he is an absolute deadly finisher.
A dog. It's a dog.
So I think with Tony at the helm, I am super confident if we get Tony in January and we're still in and around the title, yeah, I'm super confident we're going on for sure. And you tell him and you present that to Tony, and then and then Pochettino comes along with, you're the main man. We're gonna give you all of it, all the chances. They're all gonna fall to you from 12th place. Where you're all gonna fall to you. You know, I don't know.
Man.
Yeah, we're moving on up, dude.
And we're not.
Excuse me.
I'm telling you, y'all all laugh at me. Y'all all laugh at me. We're taking 12 to 15 points out of this run. If we can do what we did against y'all, we're taking 12 to 15 points out of this run. This makes us not scared of Newcastle. This makes us.
You should be. I'm scared of Newcastle. You should be scared of
Depends on when
Newcastle.
Newcastle shows up, but no.
You should be scared of Newcastle. I'm definitely scared of Newcastle. Yeah. But all in all, definitely 2 drop points for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Shockingly enough, Arsenal decided not to show up till the 78th minute. But yeah.
Typical Arteta. That last 25-minute period.
25 minute there at the end. There you go.
Oh, man, yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely a good result for Manchester City, who also managed to pick up some 3 points. This was an interesting game. Tale of 2 halves, Lewis.
Yep.
Because the thing is, like, it was great to see Haaland get a goal. Second, and I really have to question. Now all of us here know James Milner is 435 years old.
Yes.
Like, we all know that. And then so we're gonna intentionally line him up against Doku. We're gonna do that on purpose. And we're gonna expect the result to be okay.
It wasn't.
I mean, he got put on his arse quite a few times, and I mean, like,
You want to talk about turnstiles?
Yeah.
dude, like, it was some meme where it said, "Why is James Milner twerking?" Because it was like, dude, I was like, dude, he had to take him off at the half. I mean, it was because it would have got brutal.
He was he was looking 1,000 at the halftime.
I don't get it. I mean,
this game, honestly, like, from the neutral, like, this game wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be.
I agree.
City turned off.
Yeah,
City
it was so fast. You punched them so fast back to back.
I actually disagree that the game was not as exciting because City turned off. I think it was more exciting when City turned off.
Yeah.
In that first half,
Yeah.
locked. Yo, Brighton couldn't do anything. Brighton couldn't do anything.
It was like you were
absolutely
locked
them.
Your little brother. It was just
stop. Locked them up.
Good try. You want Matoma to have the ball? Stop.
It's like you were holding your arm on their head, and they're
that's what it looked like. It's when the big when he holds
and they're just windmilling because they can't go anywhere. That's how it felt in that first half. Like y'all were fantastic, and that press was smothering.
Yes,
smothered them, and that's what caused the Haaland goal.
Goal.
Yeah, Foden was a madman in this game
in the first half.
Right, unsung hero of this game for y'all is Phil.
Well, there were a couple of passes he had that were De Bruyne-esque. I'm like, this guy we
should have bought Foden, not Palmer.
Killing it. Yeah. Jeez. Alvarez was on point too. And I think it's like I was saying before we got on, Lewis, the manner of Haaland's goal I think will be important for the mentality. And these guys are huge professional footballers getting paid tons and tons of money, but they're still human, so these guys, as much as we're like, oh, how can you have confidence issues? They're still human beings, and you go through things or whatever.
They have a microscope on every touch, every run, every time. Mm-hmm. Your shoelace isn't tied right. They're
gonna let you know. Yeah.
Yo, everything. I think that mental pressure is ungodly.
I think that's why it's huge. The manner of this goal, the fact that it was all him. Yep. It was an awful pass and a miscontrol from Brighton. And then Haaland just picks it up, drives into the heart of the defense and rips one. Have we seen Haaland do that ever? No, I'm not joking. I'm genuinely asking. Have we seen him score a goal like that ever?
In Dortmund, he did it.
I was about to say Dortmund. He had a couple of those at Dortmund.
So I'm just saying it's a big way to kind of be like, look, hey, I can do this too.
Yeah. Well, but if you watched him, he came back a lot more. He tracked back. He was doing more in the team.
I did. Yeah. I saw him on the half line more in this game than I have in a lot of other City games.
I mean, these guys are not deaf to the criticism. Lots of people. I mean, I've mentioned it where lots of people are like, well, when you make subs and it's always Alvarez and not him, when Alvarez is your workhorse, and you say, well, why? And the mentality, if I'm Pep, is that because he can make something out of nothing. He's literally a robot. Even though it's interesting, Haaland released the commercial or whatever today with LeBron James, where all the criticisms about what he is and X's point about him or Jake's point about him being human and stuff like that. He kind of addresses it in there. So maybe there are script writers because there's no better way to have for the script writers to say, hey, look at what he just did on Saturday. And then you release this commercial on Monday that just fits in line to exactly where he just had the criticism. I mean, he leads the league in goals. He has 9 goals and I think 3 or 4 assists. So he's not like having a trash season, but the standard you set from before is the standard that people are holding you to today. And they're like, well, more. But the thing is, people ignore that. The defense is no more. And they're marking you different. They're saying, hey, you know what? We're going to let anybody else on the team.
Once I have a baseline film of you and then pay people, and these clubs pay people to study you.
What did he play? 50-something odd games last season?
56.
And I can guarantee you there's a person on every Premier League squad who has sat there and he has ran films solely on your job is to run and watch these 56 games of Aaron Haaland's 90-minute, or whenever he gets subbed off, you can go on to the next one or watch him on the bench and see how he acts.
See how he acts on the bench.
But I guarantee you, like I said, the microscope is so large. You hit the nail on the head, Lewis. There's film, there's study. They're going to study you. They're going to study what you say in interviews. They're going to
it doesn't get easier. It literally doesn't get easier.
No. And not when that stage is that big.
And then the thing about it is that what's the other criticism? He can't do it without De Bruyne. So then you take a film like you say in X and you say, well, how did he play without De Bruyne?
Yep. And every game, run it.
He doesn't get touches. So it's like, oh, well, it's easy. So that means someone literally has to step up and play like 1% more like De Bruyne, because there were times I was watching the game where guys were making runs, and you're like, De Bruyne makes that pass, like he sees it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that, I'm watching from the side on television, but I know these guys have vision to see it. Or if they don't have it, that just makes De Bruyne even more amazing to see those things. Because then the other thing is there's some passes that they could have made and they just don't. And you think they can, but I think they don't trust sort of the accuracy of their passes. So then you have players questioning
the speed. That too, man. But it's just like De Bruyne's playing. It's chess to checkers. The speed of which De Bruyne can know, I'm going to hit this one time with my right foot this way to make it curl off, because that defender only runs, 13 mile an hour, because I've watched my film and I've studied my game and I know how he's going to run.
It's not even speed. It's instant. You know how, the game is instinctual, and he's looking over here, and out of the corner of his eye, Haaland's on the back post. Bam.
Not even look. Bam.
Yeah. And what's interesting about that as well is that there's a rumor that Toni Kroos may get signed by City, and I'll take it. I'll take
it. Yeah, he's the Walmart, the great value version. He's the great value.
Not about great value. He's a World Cup champion.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you about.
I don't know about great value. Come on, let's get some respect. He's a legend.
So I
that
saw
man on as good without Madrid.
I saw.
And how many people can you say that about? Casemiro, legend. He's got 5 Champions League titles.
I know we not bad mouthing Casemiro. I know
we'll get to that. We'll get to the United game.
We'll get to bad mouthing. He didn't play.
He didn't play. That's how bad he is.
Still bad mouthing.
I was going to ask you, Lewis. I saw on Twitter that if there's not if De Bruyne can't fully come back 100%, that y'all may not re-sign him.
Oh, then that
you see how excited I just got?
Saudi League, baby.
I'm going to tell you why that's inaccurate, because today I saw where City is planning on signing him to a 3-year extension, so he'll have 10 years and he can retire at City. So
that's bold.
And he was just with the owner at a UFC fight. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, why not?
Why would he go anywhere?
No reason to.
35?
Huh?
He'll be what, 35?
Yep.
When his next contract run out?
But here's the funny thing about that is that somebody made a point that I saw. I was kind of just looking at chat boards or whatever. And they were saying, De Bruyne is one of the greatest midfielders and nobody really knows it. And my answer to that was, no one's going to see it until he's retired. And I'm being honest, no one's going to appreciate him until he's retired. Because the thing about it is he and I said, well, if he had gone to a big profile club, and I say profile because it's not the size of the club, it's the profile of the club, and I own that City doesn't have the profile of these other teams. If he had gone to a big profile team at a Bayern or a Barca,
Madrid, PSG,
for
whatever reason, PSG gets thrown. It's like, I don't know why.
Or if he had stayed at Chelsea.
You said it. I didn't say it.
Or if he had stayed at Chelsea even.
I mean.
Well, and I was going to make a comment about Chelsea, and I said, but see, that's the reason he didn't do that is because he started there. He went to Chelsea, and he already knew what it was like to be at a high-profile team, and he already knew that just sort of look at his personality. His personality doesn't fit that. Like he's not
loud. He's not a loud guy. Right.
So he went to a team that literally fit who he was, and then they just said, "Hey, we recognize how good you are. Do your thing." And then he literally went from Pellegrini, where he was actually more attacking with Pellegrini there because Torre was there. So he was just doing whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah, midfield's locked. I can do whatever I want. Yeah.
And then it was Torre and Fernandinho behind him.
Right.
And so
you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
And then you had then you come to Pep, who basically is like, you do whatever you want to do on the field. Because that's literally what Pep tells him. Just do whatever. Because you notice no other players allowed the same license De Bruyne has on the field. No one else.
Pep did the same thing with Messi. Rome. Play
just
your
game.
Go
win.
Play your game.
Yeah.
Go do what you do. Rodri will take care of the defense. Ruben Diaz has got you locked. Go do what you do. Yeah.
Right. And
But
the difference is, he told Messi to go score goals. He told De Bruyne to go make plays. Like he found the greatest playmaker of our generation. So he's like,
he definitely left some of that magic halftime talk out on Saturday because they kind of stayed in the locker room.
I'm shocked this game didn't get tied up.
Credit Brighton for tightening up, as you say, and getting a little bit better. And City didn't, they didn't really expect that. I guess City expected to walk in the second half, and
I feel
got
bad.
a little dicey there. Got a little dicey there. Some better finishing, and
you're in trouble.
But I'm not going to speak on hypotheticals. I'll put it like this: it did for this reason, right? City turned off, and you look at it, and it's not like they didn't have chances. It just looked like they slowed the game down, which is something they've been doing all season. And so you have to kind of look at it and say, well, why are they doing that? Right?
A lot of games, man.
Because and you get that. Well, not even that. They have a whole lot of more games because they have to go play in another competition in the winter. And so I think Pep is maybe managing that where he's like, hey, get it all you can in this first half and go from there. But it's also the thing is that no matter what that it's going on, it's the question that you all have asked. What's their motivation? Like they don't once they went up the way they did. I mean, realistically, okay, you think teams will fight back. You don't. You're like we're us. We're not going to give up the game,
right?
And I mean, if you truthfully look at it, they've never given up a game. And the thing is that, and I mean, I didn't know this, but this 21 games at home, 21 wins in the Prem consecutively at home.
I thought Brentford beat y'all last season at City. Well, at the Etihad. I thought Brentford beat you.
No, this is 21.
That's the Premier League put it out. So I mean, if the Premier League put it out, then
it's on Facebook. It has to be true.
It's got to be true.
Well, I wasn't even talking about that. I'm just talking about the Premier League made the comment. So the Premier League knows their own. I'm gonna trust them. Because City said it, and then Premier League came. And I think they're so confident about where they are at home, and that's what it was. But it was another good thing to kind of just see that Ortega got to play because Ederson was coming from Brazil, so Ortega got a chance to run, and I think that's good because what essentially happens is that you get some rotation in there and you get a lot of guys playing, and I think that part lends itself to just kind of maintaining and managing the health of the team. Again, and I don't know if I said it on here or not, but I think he took too long to make his subs. Like I think Doku was super effective early, but probably about the 60th, 65th minute, he should have switched him to Grealish to control the game, but he didn't. And then they scored. And then he put Grealish on, and then they controlled the game. But Rodri got a dumb yellow in this game. I didn't really understand why that happened. So there's little bits of lacks of focus or lapses in focus that are present, and I do wonder what will get them to focus because I'm sure Pep has yelled and screamed and called them everything under the sun in Spanish and in English and I guess in Catalan too, but you have to figure it's still a matter of responding. And I think Pep said it and other managers have said it, once they stop responding to me is the time that I need to go. So I think when De Bruyne is back, they'll see how they are. It sucks that, you let the dependency of one player control your team, but sometimes you have that person. He is that guy. I'm glad that, Rodri's back and they're playing well, but all credit to Brighton for wanting to be there for the game. I appreciate them bringing it. And, it just you go forward. 3 points.
Yeah, definitely big 3 points to pick up. Well, with Arsenal dropping points, so
table for us, yeah.
I mean Spurs won again, so Spurs are now in sole possession of first place. City and Arsenal tied, but City have a better goal difference because they always have a better goal difference.
Did you mention dude? I feel bad for Brighton moving forward.
Why is it?
Oh, the Solly March injury, or was it gross?
Yeah, that was rough.
That, and then they're in a rut.
He's out for a while.
Now they're in a rut.
1-7.
Now Solly March is gone, so Target Man's out.
They'll be fine.
They'll go with Evan Ferguson.
They'll be all right. Yeah, they're gonna be just fine. They'll get it together for sure. I
No, man,
think.
De Zerbi could be in trouble.
No,
1-7.
way.
1-7. If this was Ten Hag, the conversation would be completely.
Yeah, but Brighton isn't United.
Yeah.
Brighton isn't Chelsea. That's why Potter was cruising along, safe, chilling, doing good. He was doing good, receiving praise, and then he comes to a high. No disrespect to Brighton, but a real club, a really big club.
Yeah.
High profile.
Yeah.
And it goes to at Brighton, there's not really any pressure on De Zerbi. He's not in any trouble. They're fine. They're going to be fine. They
talking about him replacing Pep.
Yeah, he'll get the defense sorted out. They'll stop leaking goals, and they'll be fine. They'll be just fine. They still are fun to watch.
They are fun to watch.
They've just been making just a slew of defensive errors that have cost them huge.
Yeah.
But that's the Premier League.
Moving forward. But yeah,
that's the Premier League. That's the way it goes. And speaking of, got plenty of other action to look at. We'll start with a couple of derbies. The Merseyside derby, Liverpool versus Everton. Can you call this one a derby anymore? Have Everton even done anything at Anfield?
Yo, honestly, this is a win for Everton.
Yeah, I was thinking.
In the way this scoreline reads, because I watched this game, Liverpool should have beat Everton by 10 goals.
Yes, they should have.
I kind of disagree. I think that Everton threw this game away completely.
Completely, yeah.
They threw this game. They played. That might be the best Everton performance I've seen. And
Liverpool, yeah,
they were looking really, really good. They were playing really well, and then Ashley Young goes and throws the game away. Bonehead move. And then the penalty was a bonehead move. Straight, you're down a man already. They gave the game away. It's one of your best performances of the season at your biggest rivals, in a game where once again there's like we just said, there's no pressure because everyone and their grandmother is calling for a 9-0 victory for Liverpool. Just you have zero pressure. They come out and they're playing well.
Young
gave it away. Ashley Young, the most experienced man for 175 miles.
Started my morning off right on Saturday. Yeah.
Just gives the game away. Yeah, just a couple of rash challenges. The first one was soft. Okay, sure, the soft, but that's what are you gonna do? The second one, got no business doing that, man. You know better. He knows better. Even talk to. He knows better. Yeah, he didn't even say anything. He just walked down the tunnel. He was like, "Yeah, I'm an idiot."
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Liverpool, man.
With Everton going down to 10, man, they are, and it's for I don't know if Luis Diaz can play with Darwin Núñez. I don't know. What the problem is up there.
I think they're doing just fine, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. I don't know about that.
No, they look and that's what I'm saying. Like in this game, it should have when they went down to 10, it's Everton. Liverpool should have won this game by 10 goals, and them boys missed so many connections.
I mean, in this game, they were a little bit wasteful. Right. They're not usually. They're not usually. I think they're just fine, but they also could have been down to 10.
Yeah.
Which kind of, I mean, you know what? We don't even need to go over every single ridiculous, stupid refereeing VAR decision. It's just over and over and over and over again. But yeah, technically, little fortunate that they didn't go down to 10, and that was at 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes back to 10v10, would Everton be encouraged again?
I think it's sailed. Yeah, it's win.
I don't know, but yeah, definitely a good win for Liverpool. I think they're gonna be just fine.
3 points, man.
Yeah, I know.
And
I do. Yeah, yeah, man. Mo Salah.
This guy, man.
He's the guy. He's
an animal. He's an animal, dude.
Can't wait for him to get bought by the Saudi league.
Yeah, you and the rest of the league.
But you think about how much money they're going to get for him.
Liverpool wasted it. They'll be actually no. Klopp's been pretty decent at.
They're killing it, man. But I do think that it's going to be. I think over the 38 games, their lack of a defensive center mid, and Van Dijk is resurging a little bit, having a better season than he did last year, but he ain't getting younger.
No.
I think that over the entire season, that they still seem like a third place finisher to me. They still seem like they're going to just fall short. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in the we'll see in the big ones when we go to Anfield, when Liverpool come to the Emirates. When Liverpool go to Etihad, those games are going to be. We'd expect those games to be fantastic. Huge matches. And if Liverpool can edge us, then maybe they will be the closest to City this season.
Yeah.
I think that potential's there with their firepower.
So
I just think
you-
that
well,
I think
I mean,
that their defensive kind of fragility maybe is too strong of a word. Frailty maybe will in the
that
long
scenario,
run.
in that scenario, how far do you see Tottenham falling if they're not in contention for second or third?
Is the Tottenham hate that strong? Yes, I know.
Come
That's
on,
why
man.
that was the initial. That's why I was like, oh yeah, no, I already know what he's gonna say. But in
Well-
like objectively, if you can look at it, you really think Tottenham's gonna drop that much to be in the fourth, fifth contention?
I mean, they don't.
Yeah.
They just. It's the same argument. It's the same argument. Lose one or two guys for any amount of time, and they'll start dropping points. With that performance that y'all just put in, y'all are gonna give them a run in 2 weeks. That you gave us a run, and they gave us a run.
Well, we play
Well,
up. That's been my
Why
biggest
would you not think? Why would you not think that you can go ahead and get something off of them? So yeah,
Right.
I don't see them sustaining the
Mm.
run. But
I
who
hope
knows?
you're
I
I
hope
you're right.
I definitely hope I'm right as well.
Definitely hope you're right.
And another derby, the Gary O'Neill derby.
Hey, man.
Bro.
Oh man,
Bro.
this one, dude. Whoo! Again, I think.
This one messed up the prediction league for the.
Oh
weekend.
yeah, I mean, I called a Wolves win.
This
I
But,
called it straight up.
Yeah,
a
but
2-1. Yeah.
this was another game where Bournemouth played well and threw the game away.
It was. I was just going back and watching all the goals from the weekend, and I saw the second goal for Wolves, and I'm just like, there's a Twitter account that says when playing out of the back goes wrong, that should be like the number one.
That should be the first one on there.
Like horrible. Like you could, I don't even think that you could say what Sanchez did was playing out of the back, because it was just a terrible pass in general. That was,
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I was watching
Neither is Neto.
the replay, and I'm just like, that's how you lost? Like,
Yeah,
ugh.
brutal. Brutal. Just, I mean, it's such an interesting dynamic to a game where Wolves are not at their best, and Bournemouth are playing way better than I expected them to, way better than they have been. And then there's like, what? Never mind.
Still get punished for it.
Never mind. We actually don't want this game.
No.
We actually don't want to win this game. Oh no! And Gary O'Neill with a little bit of in your eyeball, Bournemouth. Thanks for nothing.
Bournemouth are only lucky that Luton, Burnley, Sheffield, Everton are worse.
Hey, man.
Are Everton worse?
Are Everton worse?
I was going to throw some shade at Luton Town, but then they said they have character.
Yo, yeah. Hey, segues are weird.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest are
Yeah.
terrible. This is atrocious.
It's
Exactly.
Man United. Yeah, it's atrocious, man. This is the McTominay 90-minute.
Did you tell me you've gone and seen these highlights? Because the defending in the end for Forest
The dude pretty much walked it into the goal.
Was
It looked like
shambolic.
somebody turned on their FIFA glitches and was like, "I'm just gonna score 2 goals real quick."
Did
That's
you
what
see-
it looked like.
On the first one, did you see Serge Aurier slip and then go for the frog move to try to head the ball? He looked like a cat jumping at the ball as it goes over his head because he slipped. I was laughing so hard. I was like,
That's
dude.
like the Phil
We
Jones.
bring back
You
the
remember when
Gerard
Phil
slip of
Jones
the
did
week.
that?
We bring back the Gerard slip of the week for my boy.
That was the Gerard slip of the week right there.
Right
For
there,
sure. For sure. Yeah, Serge Aurier. And then right after that, it goes on somebody's neck or something. It just goes through a guy.
Told you FIFA glitches. That's what it looked like.
Yeah,
Like
it goes through a guy. And then they just tap it in. And then not 4 minutes later, dude just Adebayo just outmuscles the defender.
Yeah, dude.
Just completely manhandles him. And Forest were playing decent. Chris Wood gets a couple of goals, a couple of good goals. They throw it away. Oh my, to Luton.
We only need it's a huge point. It's a huge point.
Massive point for Luton Town.
Massive grab for them.
Holy crap. Like, here I am saying I don't see Luton
They might stay
getting
up
points ever.
They keep getting points too.
if they keep getting ones.
That's
But
enough.
yeah.
That's enough.
Hey, draw your away games and
home.
try not to lose at home, I guess.
Draw your home games.
Draw your home games.
Draw your home games.
That's why I sent that thing in the chat. I was like, hey, what are the odds for them to stay up? Because that might be worth betting on.
38 points might do it, man. Just
Draw the games. Just work for a draw.
Oh my god.
Because if it keeps them in the Prem, that's like winning the champion. That's like winning a
the
title
money?
for them. The money, right? The money.
That's insane. It's insane. You know, that's the biggest jump that exists in sport as far as money is the championship to Premier League.
I bet.
It's
I bet.
insane. And I think that's a wonderful segue. It's because there's a point I want to make about the Brentford and Burnley game.
Bro.
I think
off the wagon, man.
I
You're off the
think
wagon.
I tried to tell y'all. Burnley. I
just think that Burnley are the greatest example, I should say the most recent, best example that I've seen of a team, of what the jump really is, of where a team can smash the championship. Triple digit run roughshod over everyone.
Yep.
And then just leak goals.
Welcome to
because
just not have it.
Most of that Burnley team last year was people or players on loan.
Yeah, and they're gone. They're
gone. Man, yeah. And it's a whole nother level. I think this is the best example of how tough this league really actually is.
I think that's a great, I think you're exactly right. It's the example I think Fulham is the other side of this example.
Well, I mean, no, look at Brentford. Look at Brentford, their opponents. Brentford have been terrible.
Right.
Brentford are on a horrid run.
Yeah.
And then Burnley just caught them on the wrong day. They're like, you know what? We're here. We're playing today.
We're
just
staying in the Prem.
Toasted them on the wings, man. Just dude. It was rough.
It was rough. Right.
And all three of those goals are fantastic goals.
Mm-hmm.
All three of Brentford's goals were quality from Brentford.
That third one was insane.
Who's been terrible.
They've lost. It actually looked like
they had Everton. They shipped 3 goals to Everton.
Right. They had no identity. They're still trying to find who they are now without.
And so Burnley's yeah, okay, Burnley, you may be up for this one because we've been bad, but this is still the Premier League.
Right, we're here.
Look out, and they smoked them.
JOBs, right?
I feel bad. I feel bad for Burnley, dude. I feel for him.
Well, last week Patrick asked, what company make it. I mean, this January window may make or break him, man.
I think he'll be fine though. Like even if he loses out the season,
But their goal difference, have you seen their goal difference? It's insane, man.
But I'm saying I don't think his job
Minus
is in
16.
jeopardy. I don't think his job's in jeopardy.
I don't
is
know,
what I'm trying to say.
Only Sheffield's 8-0 is keeping them worse. It's making them worse.
Yeah, because
goal
Sheffield's
difference.
at minus 17.
It's bad. It's bad news.
And that's the thing. You have to put the 8-0, which is an outlier game. Burnley is consistent
consistently
week, man.
leaking goals.
I mean, Chelsea scored 4 on him after giving up a goal.
They just
at Burnley.
They're not. And what I wonder is, but what's interesting about it, what drives my point home even more about this being such a tough league, is that my instinct during that game was to think, okay, when is Company going to park the bus? When is Company gonna give it up? Gonna give up the ghost and just, all right, we're just not gonna get scored on anymore. And I'm like, my very next thought in that process was, okay, well, that's what Sheffield are trying to do, and they're just leaking goals too. They're just getting beat game after game after game after game. So then I kind of laughed. I was like, welcome to the Prem. Oh no, what's he gonna do? I don't see it, man.
That's
I don't
what I'm
know.
saying. Like, it's massive. The relegation battle this season is going to be spicy because Everton are going to be down there. Sheffield are going to be down there. Luton's going to be down there. Burnley's going to be down there.
There are 5 teams that are truly awful.
They're 5.
It's going to be
5
spicy.
right now.
Every point matters, and Burnley's just not. If they keep leaking these goals like this, which week in, week out, they're just not going to be able to even draw because they don't have the firepower to score.
Especially when Luton Town, who we all agree are probably the worst we've ever seen in the league, are coming back and rescuing points away from home.
But here's the
embers of a right.
Here's the thing: looking at the bottom of the table, the bottom 3 teams are the only teams with double-digit negative goal differentials. The only ones.
Well, Chelsea's the only one in 10th.
That's my point. Is he going to start defending? Is he going to start?
Not even small. It's 14, 17, 16.
Oh no, they're leaking goals, right?
Dude.
But not to jump ahead to Thursday. But we got a 6-pointer this weekend.
Yep.
Burnley, Bournemouth.
Yep. Massive.
It's huge.
Massive game.
That's a playoff game, bro.
That's a big one for sure.
That's
that's a huge 6-pointer for sure. But while we're down here at the bottom, we can look at Sheffield versus Manchester United.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Man. I want Ten Hag to get sacked so bad.
I mean, how do you have a legend pass and you don't use that to like juice your guys up, man?
A stinker.
That's the only reason they won. The scriptwriters wouldn't let them lose, man, because they had Sheffield are so. Oh my goodness, dude!
This was rough. This was hard to watch, and
it was hard to watch. I agree, Jake. It was hard to watch.
When Sheffield equalized, I legitimately was like,
lost my cool.
I legitimately was, because that's what I predicted was a 1-1. I was like,
I was so.
It's happening.
It's
happening. It's 100%.
I'm sitting here in all Chelsea gear because I watched Saturday, Sunday, same place. Watch all Chelsea gear. I'm losing my mind when Sheffield tie this up. I'm like, oh, he's sacked. He's gone. Dumpster fire. I'm loving it. Loving life.
And then
Graham Potter can take over.
Oh,
yeah. So Graham Potter can come in.
Oh gosh,
Potter in. Oh my, please
do that. That would be. That would be the greatest Christmas present the soccer gods could ever give us.
Yeah, what do you want? The soccer gods, I will go to the highest mountain and throw whatever it is in. Whatever.
Yeah. Let's find the volcano.
Life
find the volcano.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Mason Mount, seeing Potter come back would cry. Oh, no, man.
Now, Potter is literally the Roberto Martinez, the English version of it. I've never seen anything like it, man.
It's insane.
I can't believe that Napoli's after him.
That's why he's linked to.
I can get United in the sense of, well, we want an English manager. Again, we've learned everybody's learning their lessons on that one if they haven't already. But we want an English manager. We've got enough talent that just just let him play. Take away the cancer that is Ten Hag in the locker room or whatever.
It's the locker room. He's losing the locker
He's lost
room.
it.
He's lost it completely. We'll give it to Potter. He'll put on Cruz. But
he'll have pool days, pizza on Fridays, G Day on Mondays, and pool days.
Graham Potter is the cruise control of professional managing.
But I get it. I get it in the sense of United having some semblance of interest. I can't figure out Napoli to save my life, though. Like, the ultras for Napoli will try to burn down his house before he even starts managing.
He's lucky, dude. The amount of threats he received from Chelsea fans, and we're bougie.
Don't go to Italy.
It was not going to be good.
Don't go to Italy. Don't go to that interview, bro. You don't want it. No, but I was
Italy. Jose Mourinho. Unless you have the Jose Mourinho type of,
and they're ready to get rid.
Even he's getting run out of town. Yeah.
Although never change, my man. Him running up to the bench and catching a red is the best thing this
against Monza. Yo, Monza is a newly promoted club. He's just done that to the Latin town of the Italian league.
He has no chill.
I love him so much.
He has no chill.
I love him so much.
Town of the Serie A.
He's saying quit crying.
And he's just like, welcome to the league. What's up?
Oh, man. But yeah, don't go to Italy.
The special one. Oh, my goodness gracious. They need something special down at Man U because this was bad.
I'm shocked that they're not going after him.
Another Wolves situation, right? Like, should they have even taken points out of this? It's so unfair. Like, I just feel like they should not have gotten points out of this.
Here's what it is. We said it a while back because I forget which pundit said it, but they're this season's Spurs.
Yeah,
just saving stuff out of nowhere. Okay, no, it's not as pronounced as okay. We'll give you 2 goals and try to play from behind because that's what Spurs did all last season.
Yeah, right.
But it's the fact that they're playing consistently poor. Their performances are consistently poor, and they're relying on moments, on individual brilliance. All last season, it was Rashford.
Yeah.
And now they're finding Scott McTominay? How long is that going to last? Diogo Dalot with the best goal of his life?
Yeah.
Like the best goal he'll ever score.
You know what? Actually, I'll change my state. I want to know what them two threw in the volcano because I'll go throw whatever they threw.
Right. Oh my God!
Whatever ritual they did, I'm in.
Yeah, let me get the spell book you're reading out of.
You don't score goals like that. I'm in.
But see, that's what they're relying on all season long to win games.
Because dynasties end.
And you may have hit it already. Like, it still baffles me that a manager can lose a locker room full of professionals who will just not play for him. But that's what happened to Potter.
Yep.
But Ten Hag came in and he was like, "I'm a dictator and I'm this guy."
That's what happened to Mao on the second stint.
Pissed everybody off.
Yeah, and he made everybody mad. Mao on the second run made everybody mad.
I'm sure there are some in the camp where it's like, free Sancho, man. Why are you being so stubborn? Why are you being so stubborn about, he's got to apologize. He has to apologize. When, meanwhile, y'all are rubbish on the pitch and you need all the help you can get. Anthony it's not even a shocker anymore. This is what I expect from Anthony. Right. Lots of spinning in circles, a whole lot of nothing in front of the goal.
That's because
it's fake fancy footwork too, and that's what I hate about Anthony. I hate him as a player. Not to interrupt you, Lewis. Sorry. It's the wingers that we used to look back on the day, and they had fancy footwork. They moved the ball. They made the inside cut. They could make moves. They could do Rabonas. They could do half net. Like,
it was the guy that I wanted to clobber. That you just wanted to absolutely clatter.
Dancing over the ball. Anthony fake does that. And it drives me insane because it's not productive. It just looks fancy.
15 years ago, 20 years ago in this
he would've
league,
been ripped out of his done.
he'd be
In the
dead.
stands. He'd be over the
He'd be at the hospital on his fourth broken leg.
Yeah. But sorry, Lewis, what were you gonna say?
About Anthony?
Yeah, about Anthony.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes me so mad. It's just
He ran away from your thoughts there like you ran away in the game.
fake fancy.
Only in
Yeah.
Brazil.
It's they're struggling, and they were even worse without Casemiro in this game.
Because he is the greatest center
Why did I even say anything?
ever to breathe air.
He's getting ready for the weekend. He's getting ready for the weekend.
Getting ready.
Now,
Oh my goodness!
Now I never root for anyone to lose, but we're gonna just live in reality right now, sir. Because this coming weekend, we don't care who passed away and whose funeral you had to go to. They're getting punched in the face.
It's gonna be bad.
Well, I hope y'all 6-0.
We're all looking forward to it.
I don't even think the Old Trafford factor is gonna matter.
No, I want y'all to go in there and 6-0 them.
Yeah, we'll get there on Thursday. We'll get to that on Thursday, but I agree. I think it's gonna be a bloodbath. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Absolutely. Yeah.
I think
this might be the game. Like usually I'm like, I'll cheer for whoever's playing against City. Normally,
it's the only time I'm okay with City.
This is the game I would love to see City just Holland's gonna score 5 goals. I want to see it. I want to see it so bad. But speaking of cheering against teams, I myself was a massive Fulham fan today. It didn't matter because they are in a resurgence in the wrong direction. Whew. When you're relying on Willian, when your go-to guy to bring on is Harry Wilson. No disrespect to Harry Wilson, but
Yep.
It's this one. This was tough. This was tough, man. Fulham have fallen. I didn't realize the lack of Mitrovic would just sting them so hard.
Losing an identity.
I was scrolling Twitter right before the Fulham match, looking for the lineup, and I came across something from CBS Sports, and it says Mitrovic having his way in Saudi Arabia or something like that. He scored a goal, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's Saudi Arabia for one, but it made you realize just how much Fulham misses him because Vinicius is not.
Well, you can't replace, and that's what the biggest thing with us too. Like it's just that same motif that we keep coming across. What are you going to replace 15 to 18 goals a season with?
Not Raul Jimenez, that's for sure.
Right.
There's only games he's gone without scoring in the Premier League.
There's only so many you can do that. And when these lower or these mid-table clubs lose a guy who's putting in 15 to 18 goals, think of what Leicester would have been without Jamie Vardy.
There's no such thing, sir.
Well, I agree. But again, I don't think there's a Brentford without Tony. I just don't live in a world where there's not a Fulham without Mitro. Like, it's so hard to replace that. And I've struggled with it. Like, my club struggles with it probably the most out of most of them.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's so hard to replace somebody like Mitrovic who's going to bag you 18 goals, that you can grind out games 1-2-0 in a comfortable position.
Well, it changes the way teams play you completely.
Yeah,
because nobody's afraid of the long ball against Fulham anymore. But what's crazy is I don't know if you watched that game today. That's all they were trying to do.
Right.
They were so afraid of Madison and Sarr that they were just skipping him. And Højbjerg, they were just trying to launch him down the end. And let's face it, man. Van der Ven is huge, but he's also fast. Yeah.
Fast. I was shocked how fast he is.
He's got some pace, man, and so they have the answer for that long ball. Fulham had nothing. They had nothing in this game, and Spurs keep rolling, man.
You're lucky.
My highlight of this game.
They're lucky. They're another team that's lucky. The people are worse.
My highlight from this game was they mentioned the Williams story.
Yeah,
that's always a highlight.
Yeah,
It was great because they're like, well, this is why they're booing And I'm like, yeah, I can tell. They're still a little salty about that.
Salty. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, well, when you're a Tottenham fan, you got to have a long memory to, because it's been so
For
long
anything of value.
for anything.
Jackbox, yeah.
Yeah, but they're definitely flying high, looking good right now.
Unfortunately.
Postacoglu's got them, Ange Postacoglu's got him.
Did he win Manager of the Month last month?
He did. He's got 2 Managers of the Month awards.
He's gonna win it this month. Too.
He'll win it again this season. Yeah, they're flying high for sure. Sole possession. They're at the top of the league. Hopefully, it will not last any longer at all. Hopefully, but
Well, they got Palace this weekend.
smash them. They'll smash Palace.
That's
Palace
free.
are trash. And then it's y'all.
Us, yeah.
And then it's Chelsea. That's a game, man. That's going to be a game.
Man.
Last
Here we
week,
come to take them off the Invincibles route.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm here for that. 2 weeks ago, I would have been like, yes, Spurs are going to wreck you guys. But if y'all bring what you brought to the Arsenal game, you'll be just fine.
Fine.
You'll be just fine, absolutely. And I'll be
out
tuned
here
in.
Oh yeah.
I'll be tuned in, cheering really hard. Wait,
Yeah, my boy's a Blues fan that day, baby.
am I going to be cheering Chelsea? Wait a second. Well, those words never actually came out of my mouth.
I'll let you borrow one of mine. I'll put it.
I would
on.
like to point out.
Cut that out of the video.
I would like to point out that ever since Chelsea actually was told they could have a shirt sponsor, they get to take an L.
Hey, so it's the sponsor. It's
and that's what I got my shirt. So I'll take credit too if you want
the
me to.
sponsor magic.
Yeah, hey, it's all down to Patrick's wizardry. That's what it's actually down to. Yep. Well, go Blues in a couple of weeks against the Spurs. Hopefully, they won't be at the top of the
and that's
table.
where me and you differ. I would vote we both lose, but we're okay.
Yeah.
The
hey,
bus
I would
never
love
makes
that.
it to the stadium.
I would love that. Yeah, I would love that. Absolutely. Speaking of things that are just terrifying, where do we go? Villa's scaring people, and Newcastle is scaring people. Let's go to Villa. Aston
that Ollie
Villa.
Watkins goal. Come on, man. Come
West
on
Ham.
now.
West
Guys,
Ham.
That is dirty.
On
Man, they're
West Ham
killed, dude. West Ham were not bad.
No.
This is a lot,
They're just dangerous. They're
Every now and again, you'll find a game where both teams played well. Sometimes you can be like, okay, Chelsea played really well. Arsenal were crap. Brentford played really well. Burnley were crap. Wolverhampton were good, and Bournemouth threw it away. This game, Villa were magnificent. West Ham were good.
Yep.
Just not good enough. And
Unai changed them completely.
And Villa's record, like they showed the record for Villa since the hire of
since January.
and they're literally equal on points to Arsenal, who have been in great form for the last 2 seasons, which is amazing where they are.
In the 31 matches played, yeah, it's almost been a whole season.
Yeah.
And they're better goal difference for second place if that was the league since January.
Amazing.
Scary, dude.
Yep.
There's just
Yeah.
dumping goals, man. Dumping, and it's from everywhere.
It is.
Bro.
It's from everywhere. Ollie Watkins, Moussa Diaby, Douglas Luiz. Put some respect on the man's name. They were talking about he might be, Arsenal would do well to get him. You damn right we would do well to get Douglas Luiz. Man is the unsung hero of that team.
Take your 40
This week-
minute run.
Yeah, this week he's going to get his plaudits for sure because he's on the score sheet. We tend to have a bias towards goal scorers, but the man is a monster in that midfield.
The thing that's interesting is remember when we started the season, that there was talk that Emi Martinez was going to be sold so they could just get some money, and there's that's completely gone.
No way. Yeah,
They're wanting a European spot as well. I think that's their club.
Dude, they're going to walk the Conference League.
Oh, they're gonna walk.
If they focus on winning that trophy, They'll
It'll come back.
demolish
That one will
teams.
also come back to England.
Well, Emery's really good in Europe in like the lower leagues as well. So
Yeah, he's won the Europa League like 4 times or something.
This is in his wheelhouse.
Yep.
He's gonna absolutely wreck shop, and then next season they're gonna wreck shop in the Europa League.
Yep.
You know,
they'll win the
assuming they don't make the Champions League,
Yeah, man.
because that's on the docket. That is 100% in the wheelhouse, within reach. If you ask me, especially since the coefficients over they do the coefficients over the last 5 seasons, and so England's performances in all of the European competitions in the last 5 seasons is why England will get a 5th spot.
Yeah,
in the Champions League.
I mean, rightfully so. It's been what, us, City, Liverpool.
Well, I'm just in the last 5 years. Plus, it was a Tottenham Liverpool final.
It was a Tottenham Liverpool final. Us and City final.
It was a City Tottenham semifinal.
Yep.
When Chelsea ended up beating City, the year Chelsea beat City in the final, they played City played Tottenham in the semifinal.
Yeah.
You know, so English clubs have been dominating, so that's why there's going to be a 5th spot. And Aston Villa, man, I mean, I could even see him finishing 4th.
Number 5's ours, man.
Yo, that Villa Newcastle game. Next Villa Newcastle game.
Back off number 5. Number 5's ours. I don't care. Number 5's ours.
Already laid claim to it at the beginning.
They already swept you aside. They already swept you aside.
Already put a hotel on number 5, so you're gonna have to pay me a bunch.
They swept you aside, bro. Y'all are finishing it. You think you're finishing ahead of Villa?
Yes.
No chance.
We take 12 out of this run, we're gonna have a different conversation.
No way you finish ahead of Villa.
Watch us. We take 12 out of this run, we're having a different conversation.
Man, they are they're good. I'm scared.
But when they're not good, they're not.
That was once, and it was the first game of the season.
They weren't good against us either.
They were not good against us.
And yet they beat you 3-1.
No, they beat us 1-0. Oh, no. Yeah, that's right.
Or did West Ham beat you 3-1?
Not the West Ham beat us 3-1.
West Ham beat it.
Okay, yeah.
That was embarrassing.
They beat us 1-0 because Gusto got the red card.
Yeah.
I'm just, I mean, yeah, but when they're on it,
they're on it.
They blast. They're gonna blast people apart, dude.
But like Lewis said, man, shout out to Unai. I've definitely
great, man.
The sacking of Steven Gerrard and bringing in Unai Emery has turned that club.
They were in the basement when Gerrard after Gerrard's last game.
Hack job, yeah.
Basement.
Yep.
Basement, man. He's in Saudi. He's mid-table in Saudi.
Nice.
Is that the team with Jordan Henderson?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Hendo's team.
I don't know if I sent it to y'all, but there was a Instagram reel where they were talking about how Jordan Henderson said he didn't go for the money, and that the last match that he played in before he came over for international break, there were 972 fans in the stands.
Massive turnout, boys.
Yeah, huge turnout.
Wow. National team. I mean, whatever.
That's baffling. Yeah, because it's Southgate. Southgate is the Martinez of England. Oh, wait, we decided. So Graham Potter is going to be the next England coach?
Stop it, Jake. Stop. I will kick you in the knee.
Well, think about this. He can't do too much to him.
Like the numbers popping up in the sky where Jake was just doing the math.
Stop it.
Hell yeah, that's it right there.
Do not put that out in the universe. I will kick you in the knee.
Kick you in the knee.
Oh, man. It wouldn't be the first time.
No, it will not.
Yeah.
Or the last.
Oh, man.
It will happen.
But yeah, man. Villa scaring folks. Got people quaking in their boots. Speaking of scaring the crap out of people, Newcastle, man. St. James is just not a fun place to go.
Fortress.
So bad.
Just not a fun place to go. Yeah,
it's been a tough place to play.
Palace are so bad.
Palace weren't great, but Newcastle just. I mean, here's the thing at St. James Park. If you can keep a clean sheet, if you can not get scored on for 20, 30 minutes, you can be in the game. You can get into the game and really have a shot.
If you get St.
If
James
you
Park
give a
involved,
goal in the 6th minute,
It's over.
you're toast.
you got grandma running around with the flag.
Even if it was a McCullough Murdrick mishit to the back post
no,
goal that Jacob Murphy scored,
they're losing it.
they had no hope. From 6 minutes in, it was done. I was immediately just like, all right, yeah, this game is done. They're flying. Are they going to win this group of death? Like, what?
They might.
Looks
Dude,
like
they might.
Because I've heard through the grapevine that Dortmund are not at it this season. And Newcastle already wrecked Paris.
Yeah.
Got through the game at San Siro. Let's be honest. Milan dropped that one.
Milan dropped that one.
But, Dortmund don't want to go to Newcastle.
What about Tonali?
I mean, he was on the bench, wasn't he?
Yeah,
but
he could be suspended for.
Oh, he's gone. He'll get suspended.
He gets ripped.
And I think that's kind of where we talk about depth. We talk about Arsenal. We talk about City. Y'all have depth to absorb. You're cutting into that depth with Newcastle, and when they start seeing, congested fixture lists because they're still in the Champions League. Oh, well, they've got to go to, I don't know, Real Madrid on a Wednesday and turn around and play, at City on a Sunday. That catches up to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you stay in the FA Cup on top of it. So, I mean, they already beat City in what was that, Carabao?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
the energy drink.
Still in Carabao. So, I mean, that's the one thing, and I think I talked to you about this in Atlanta. Like, I felt that the Newcastle was still not deep enough to really make a consistent run. I think that they can get people at home. I think that they can I think on the road against, the smaller clubs, they'll be fine. I think once they start going to the Emirates and they go to the bridge and they go to City and they even go to Spurs. Have they ever been there?
London Stadium? Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
how much of a statement game either way it goes do you think the Newcastle Arsenal game will be when we go to St. James?
It'll be huge.
Well, it's supposed to be, you're right. It's supposed to be we're both here.
That's a titanic bout.
Yeah,
like that's a massive clash.
Yeah.
Very important.
That's Titans. Yeah.
For us, it's one of those games where it's like, okay, are we going to compete this season?
That's a litmus test for you guys.
Or are we going to be amongst the rest this season? Or are we going to be the ones to challenge?
Right.
I think that's what it is for Arsenal. But for Newcastle, what if Newcastle 4-0 Arsenal? Huge statement. That ain't and hey, me, diehard through and through. That's not out of the question that Newcastle just brush us aside. That's not something that's just like not even on the radar, because I've watched a fair amount of Newcastle this season, and they are explosive.
They're explosive, right?
I'm worried. I'm very worried about that. We don't get there for a couple of weeks, but yeah,
you gotta maintain your form, man.
I'm definitely worried about that because if you switch off first Newcastle, it's not just they're going to put one past you; they're going to put four past you.
Yeah,
they're going to smash your skull in, and I thought Roy Hodgson would have them set up better. I mean, again, at that early goal, dagger blow right to the heart.
Right, you can't, like you cannot give that.
They're so good, dude. That break, just like Villa, man. That break is blistering, dude. They'll just rip you apart, dude. And even, Miggy Almiron should have scored a fifth. Like it should have been more, So, I worry about Palace again. Same old story. They literally, without Eze, without Elise, it's long. It's long day.
How do you go back to predictions? We all figured that this would be a game that they would get punched in the head anyways.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, and just not to throw salt on United, but the fact that United turned down their Sheik that could have gotten them the same place to get a guy like Graham Potter in is
United, and that's the problem with
It's embarrassing.
That's a bigger I think that's a bigger geopolitical issue that has to do with the clubs and how big they are and the global outreach. Like, you have to understand how close our club was being made to be sold back to an Englishman. Like, the FA won't let United fall. Their baby. You have to think about that. That is English heritage. That is their baby. Every great England player, every legend that you think of the game that come through, like, they have the most. They are English bred and built. They won't let United fall outside of English hands. And they almost pushed Chelsea to only be sold to English hands. And luckily we had, again, depending on who you ask, I think Todd Boehly is still a clown. I would much rather somebody who, but at least, again,
it was either him or Radcliffe.
Right. But I'll stand by it. At least my guy's willing to put $100 million into the club. I don't care how he spends it. Money's money. It goes a long way. Even if you spend it wrong, you spend enough, hopefully you'll get it right. And I think that's what he's doing. But United will never fall. Yeah, and that day comes. It's a dangerous day for English football. It's a dangerous day for the Prem, as far as the FA is concerned. But I don't think United will ever fall outside of that.
Well, I mean, but sport is sport. I mean, are we afraid of capitalism in sport? Because that's literally what it is.
It's identity. I think is for United. It's an identity. They are England's team.
But you can't do that in capitalism. They can't play to both sides. Either they want to make money or they don't.
Europe's not capitalist, so Europe already plays both sides.
Not in football though. Not in this business. Yeah.
Like,
They do. Yes, they do. The state subsidies that get passed down to these clubs to get buildings built, land bought.
But that's everywhere. That's everyone that we do that in the United States. Where
we've only done it a hand.
They got
colleges aside, we've only done it a handful of times for professional teams.
No,
you're talking about Dallas, you're talking about New York,
No.
and you're talking. Yes, you are. Atlanta didn't get subsidized by the state of Georgia. The Mercedes
Blank
was
gets
completely
all-
Well,
made
no,
out.
that was because Blank's got $1 billion.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
$6
In American
billion.
sport, look it up. It does
But
not
they
happen
found
as
a way
much over
around
here.
it.
But I mean,
I agree, Lewis. There is no way
Panthers,
around it now.
It's all taxpayer funded.
Which one?
You talk about, I mean, any of the newer stadiums are all taxpayer funded at some point.
In the Mecca cities, yes, in Dallas, in New York. Atlanta wasn't. Charlotte
was.
No, it
Yeah, it
was. No, it
Yeah.
was not.
Completely.
That's not a new stadium though. That stadium's 30 years old.
And the new stadium they want, Tepper wants the taxpayers to pay for, which is why he's threatening to move to South Carolina because of that. Because he knows South Carolina, he already had a sweetheart deal where I think it was Rock Hill or Fort Mill.
Rock Hill, yeah.
Rock Hill.
Give him the land.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
nothing. But I hear you. I mean, I get what you're saying, X. I mean, they're trying to
They
preserve
won't let English. They will
Yeah,
not
No,
let
I
United
I definitely agree. They won't let United fall. Definitely a
Outside of
mainstay
English
of the
hands.
English game. No,
Absolutely.
I'm with you. I understand definitely what you're saying, but we've definitely gotten a little far afield here. I did want to touch in. It is a Champions League week. Manchester City travel to Switzerland.
Do we still boo the anthem? No, I'm playing.
Hey, I love the anthem. I'm a fan.
Okay.
See my upcoming video for a full performance of the anthem.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so tune in for that. That's coming soon. But Lewis, the young boys, champions of Switzerland.
Exciting.
Are you gonna? Do you think to see a rotated side? Is it gonna be the full team?
Full team.
You're going to smash them.
They're going early because they play on a turf field. They're going to be there a day early so they can practice on turf.
On turf, yeah.
They're taking the game seriously, man. I mean, the thing about it is that we've had so many opportunities where you look at teams and you're saying, oh, we should just walk them. But we've not walked anybody. And so they have to take all these games serious because you don't have any cohesion with these guys because everybody's been injured or suspended or something stupid. And so you got to find some form. So
did you draw Leipzig? Are you on 4 points? Or did you beat Leipzig?
No, I thought they beat
Leipzig.
Leipzig.
We won all the games.
They won all the games. They won both games. Yeah. So in that context,
smacked anyone.
Yeah. Well, in that context, another 3 points. To go ahead 3 from 3 to get up on 9, and you're good.
You're good.
and you're good.
Going
Yeah.
through, right.
So
Take this one seriously.
I definitely think Pep's got that mentality. It's like, hey,
Go
we
through
want to qualify early.
Yeah, get it early. Yeah, I agree.
And then maybe in game 6, when you're playing Red Star again, you know, Calvin Phillips will get his minutes.
In
If he's still in the team.
half the youth academy because you've already qualified.
Yeah, Oscar Bob will be leading the line. You know?
Honestly, if that's game
JB Tart, he'll just come out.
JB Tart.
that'll be the warm-ups for the Club World Cup at that point.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I definitely think that. I mean, I have literally seen nothing of Young Boys except for highlights of this year's Champions League. So I don't expect them to do much. It'll probably be low block FC if I had to guess.
I still take them seriously. I take them all seriously.
Yeah, definitely. Manchester United definitely have to take it seriously. Copenhagen have already got a decent result last time around, I believe, or it might have been game week 1. They got a draw versus Munich, versus Galatasaray, excuse me. This one is massive for United. Like, they have to have it. It's at home.
It puts them in a dangerous position.
They've already lost twice.
Dangerous position in the table. Yep.
If they don't get all 3 points here, it might already be a must-win. This might already be a must-win. That loss to Galatasaray was devastating.
Massive. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think their next trip is to
No,
Galatasaray.
they have 0 points. Yeah.
They have no points.
Gosh. Oh, and then they're going to Turkey.
Then they have to go to
No,
Turkey.
no,
Their
Their
next
next
one.
one-
Oh,
No, their next one is
At
to
home.
go back.
No.
Is to go to Copenhagen, and then they do. Then
And
they
so
go-
the last day is Bayern.
Turkey.
They're gonna get smashed in that one. So they have 3 games to make their points.
They're not even making Europa.
No, they have 9. Oh,
They might- If they don't get a win
a Europa spot.
tomorrow, it's probably done.
Oh, he should.
No, not Ten Hag. I'm just saying their Champions League hopes are probably
You don't
done.
think you don't think that'll be grounds for him to be?
Well, if they lose at home to Copenhagen, yeah, sure.
Oh man,
Bayern goes to Galatasaray tomorrow, though.
That'll be an interesting game.
That'd be spicy.
Interesting
That should be
game.
a fun one.
Well, Bayern is
Spicy
riding
one.
on the high right now, so I think they'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
fitting in nicely.
Yeah, it should be just fine. It should be just fine. One group down, Sevilla host the Arsenal.
Big game for you guys.
Yeah.
Big test.
Sevilla, who have just drawn Real Madrid
Big test.
1-1.
And their
At the
instigator
weekend.
is alive. Ramos is doing Ramos things.
Ramos, I'm worried, guys.
Big
Still
test.
doing it.
I'm worried.
You should be. Yeah, Sevilla's.
If we play like we did on Saturday, rough. It's gonna be rough pumpkins.
Or if you play like you did against Lawns.
It's gonna be rough pumpkins. Well, the performance against Lawns was for the same reason that we performed poorly against Chelsea. It was a really strong, smart, disciplined, tactical press. We struggled with it, and the really big thing that we struggled with in Lawns was we just did not expect that environment for 100 minutes to just be balls to the wall. Sevilla is gonna be like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous. It's going to be hostile for 100 minutes. And I'm very, very interested to see where Martin Odegaard shows up or not in this game.
Why are you going to do that, man, like that? Is that necessary, sir?
Hey, I love Martin Odegaard.
Is that necessary, sir?
I am a massive fan. But I call him like I see him. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. If you pull a Romelu Lukaku, I'm going to call you out. If you pull a Kevin De Bruyne, I'm going to give you your flowers. Like it just is what it is. And in the last few games, okay, great. Odegaard, you did awesome versus Bournemouth because they gave you the ball. They let us have all kinds of space and we dumped 4 on them. Great. You got to do that against City, against Chelsea, against Lens. In an away environment that's super hostile, like we're about to go see tomorrow. You need to step up and be the guy because, okay, yes, Rice is already the guy just because that's who he is. But Odegaard has the armband. He needs to be the leader in moments where the crowd's against us, the game's going against us, the refs against us, the other team is just kicking the crap out of Scugarella. That we just have to go and deal with that. And Odegaard needs to be the center of it. I want to see Tamayasu. I want to see Aaron Ramsdale. I might be disappointed on both of those counts.
Well, you get Kai in this game.
Okay.
Because he didn't start against us. So I think he starts against Sevilla.
Okay. Maybe. As long as we don't see
displaces-
Jorginho again.
But I think that displaces Odie. I see. He'll play.
If Rice plays the 6, then Havertz 8, Odie.
Well, is Partey playing? Is Partey hurt?
Sure.
Isn't he always
He played against the US and was fine.
Isn't he always like? I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with that. I want to see Partey, Rice, Odegaard.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. And in that case, I don't think Havertz will start.
Right.
We definitely need to play our strongest team. It's Sheffield at the weekend, where we at home, no less.
Yeah,
And this is a big game. Like you said, this is a big game for you guys. Like,
It's massive. If we lose this game, we're in trouble. If we lose again, we're in trouble because Lens drew Sevilla. We're dead last if we lose this game.
And Sevilla drew. Oh wow, yeah.
We'll be dead last if we lose this game.
Mm-hmm.
This is like, because it was so close to the Chelsea game, I haven't really thought about it at all, but this is massive for our Champions League. And
there's still 3 points. I mean, you got 3. You're not like United in trouble.
No, but we also didn't expect to have that performance in France.
Right.
And so I'm worried about away performances in the Champions League. We lost at PSV last season. In the Europa League, we lost at PSV last season.
Out, wasn't it?
You think Lens wins against PSV?
That was
No, they got knocked out against Sporting.
We lost to Sporting Lisbon, but it was the last group game. It was the very last group game, and it didn't matter. But we went to PSV and still did not win the game. I think Lens will do just fine versus PSV. I don't know if you actually watched that game, Arsenal versus Lens. That atmosphere is hostile. It's not great. And Lens are on top of the group. They're already, so they're flying high. They're going to have no reason to fear PSV. They'll be up for it. And if Lens beat PSV, I won't be even a little bit surprised. Not at all.
Well, they should. They're at home.
Yeah. So this group that everyone's like, oh, Europa League group. Well, Arsenal are struggling in this Europa League group.
The actual group of death is this.
Yeah, the dark horse group of death.
Horse group of death.
Didn't really realize that all these 3 of these teams or 4 of these teams are evenly matched. Apparently,
Right.
Sevilla maybe have underperformed.
Yeah.
In the group, especially coming off the back of a huge draw versus Madrid, they're gonna be confident as well, man. Simeone ain't scared. He ain't scared.
No, he ain't scared.
Yeah, it's
Diego.
I'm looking forward to it. Of course, it's the Arsenal always love seeing him play. Big away day. I'm excited, but also nervous. I definitely think we got to show up. We got to show up in a big way to get anything from this game. Honestly, if you say it's a 2-2 draw, I'll be right now happy with that. I'll be fine with that. Get out of there, not having not lost. Get your point. And we move.
Yeah.
Newcastle
looks interesting though.
Absolutely. Newcastle play Borussia Dortmund at St. James.
And Dortmund need to win this game.
Listen. But if Dortmund's one of those teams, like, you get what you get, right? Like, remember how you treat them at St. James, because when you have to go into Germany
and play against the yellow wall,
Dortmund.
Like, you'd rather play them first on the road so you can get them at home.
Yes, I want.
Okay, try to drop your Premier League bias for a second and What's the worst away day in this group? San Siro, Parc des Princes. I'm not sure what the
Valda Station.
the
Valda Stadium.
there you go, or St. James.
The yellow wall, then St.
Maybe
James.
Dortmund.
You think so?
Maybe
Yeah.
Dortmund.
Well,
After that, it might be Milan.
San Siro is not a fun place. There's so much smoke. You can't see anything.
And you're worried about getting like mafia boss.
Dortmund, Newcastle, Milan, and then PSG.
Paris, yeah.
Paris is definitely that's
Paris, man.
The interesting thing that Newcastle haven't lost in 8 matches and Dortmund haven't lost in 5.
It's gonna be a good game. Spicy.
But Paris walked all over Dortmund, and Newcastle dumped it on Paris.
I mean, that's
Dortmund are going to struggle. It's going to be tough, man. That's going to be a game to watch, though. That's going to be fun.
It'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
Also looking at it, anyone who goes to Celtics, it's always a fun match, just because of that atmosphere.
Yeah.
So Atletico going to Celtic, that'll be a fun one.
But Celtic's different. Celtic had Postecoglou last season.
Yeah, they're totally different now,
and they're a totally different team.
Yeah,
they have Brendan, right?
Is it Brendan Rodgers?
They have Brendan
Rodgers.
No way.
There we go.
He's on too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not the next.
That's tough. Let's go Madrid. That's a tough game though. Let's go Madrid's gonna be tough. But
going to Celtic though, that place is it's a bandbox, but man, it gets rocking.
Yeah.
And Celtic is on 0.
So they're gonna go.
Lazio are the ones performing in that group. Look out. That's the guy. That's the team where the goalkeeper scored the 90th minute winner.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Dude, I was so jacked for that. That was so great, man.
And then you got Shakhtar.
Barcelona Shakhtar should be good. Real Madrid playing in the mountains. Didn't you send us a picture of the Braga Stadium? That looked really cool. Escapes while they're absolutely destroying teams.
Well, I mean,
how many does Bellingham have in that one?
Well,
at least 2.
According to the memes, he'd have 2 tap-ins.
Yeah.
2 tap-ins.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the Champions League this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And if you're looking forward to, go ahead and get the likes up on the video. Thanks for being here, people. We did it. We finally hit 100 subscribers. We're actually up to 105 already. 105. We are on our way to 200. So if you're new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Of course, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. We'll definitely be back on Thursday with the Premier League preview and the Champions League review. So I hope you have enjoyed it. I know we have. Have a wonderful evening, and you will see us next time.